Hello, everyone. Welcome to Real Talk with Dr. Reshma. I'm your host, Dr. Reshma, the Catalyst Coach. I coach and train individuals towards accelerated growth. I am on a mission to catalyze the lives of 1 million people through my personal development accelerated program. Many a times we get knocked down, right? And we don't know what to do about it. Joel Austin says, we may get knocked down on the outside, but the key to living in the victory is to learn how to get up on the inside. Let's understand what is this thing that keeps people from rising up even after they've fallen down many a times. Life throws lemons at us. We need to either make squash or pickles out of it and relish what we have with us. At times, it gets really difficult. We fumble, we fail, we fall. Let's learn to rise above and identify our inner potential with which we can win all tests of life. Today, we are going to talk about unleashing your inner hidden power. And we have with us Grace Harris. Let's welcome Grace Harris, communications and story master expert, international speaker on women empowerment, women leadership in culture and diversity, best selling author of Become the Woman of Your Dreams. Grace Harris is Australia's leading empowered vulnerability expert and a certified neuro linguistic programming and crystal dreaming shamanic practitioner, an international speaker on women empowerment, and has shared the stage with numerous global leaders and entrepreneurs. In January 22, Grace created the Women Unleashed project, gathering a phenomenal collective of authors, coaches, speakers, healers, and entrepreneurs sharing their own sacred stories and living experiences of adversities and how it helped them to catapult them into total personal transformation. She provides holistic and transformational programs for women to speak, lead, rise in career, in business, and rediscover themselves with passion, purpose, and prosperity. Welcome, Grace, on Real Talk with Dr. Reshma.
Hello, thank you, Dr. Reshma, for having me here. It's such an honor and a privilege to be able to help you spread the message and create that change in the world and become part of the catalyst that you're creating here. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Grace. Thank you. It's really nice, and I'm very looking forward to speaking to you. It's an honor, really. So, Grace, I just know your story, and many of us know, but I just want to tell every viewer out here, you've risen from the ashes, where you faced abandonment and abuse at a very young age, faced all fears. There was so much lack of self worth, was deprived of basic love, faced self doubts, and you've still risen from the darkness to light. And you're bringing every woman towards that light. So I just want you to just share your journey in a nutshell of from fear to power.
Mhm. Thank you. I would love to share that journey. Yes, it is from fear to power. And as you have shared, at a very young age, I was left at a household where I was promised that they would come back for me, but they never did. I never really received an explanation why I was left behind there. I was in that household, which was my grandmother's house, from age 5 into age 20, and I was living with her and her male children. I was exposed to complex abuse in that entire time. And lucky for me, like for many women and for many people listening right now, I was able to finish my education. I was able to develop passions that I didn't realize how useful they were at the time. But From a very young age, I knew that I loved stories. I knew that I loved to write. I knew that I loved poetry. I knew that I loved connection. It was something that was deeply embedded in me, but I didn't know how useful they were going to be. The problem that I'd encountered is, and this is useful to share because in my young adult, from early 20s up until late 30s, when I was living life as we are led to motto and believe, which is to have a career, to buy the house, to travel the world, to wear the suit, to have the friends that go with. And I was doing all this. So on the outside, I looked very successful, but on the inside I was dying, because even though I could achieve the career, I could make the money, I could do the outside things that look successful, on the inside my relationships were toxic. I attracted a person that I married, and now obviously an ex-husband, was a really a reflection of the people that raised me. But that's because that's how I understood, that's what I thought love was. So that's the best of how I knew a relationship was. So it was abusive, it was everything that was the opposite of love. And how did I actually catalyze that cyclical self-sabotage? um, Unfortunately, I had to go through a real severe experience, which is a near-death experience. Now, the reason that I do that, what I do, is because I believe we don't have to go through a severe experience to wake up. We don't have to go through an extreme experience to be awakened to the light that we are. But that near-death experience in 2013, it was so unexpected because I wasn't really critically ill or anything. I didn't get into an accident. I just had like arthroscopic surgery on my shoulder. And the thing that happened is, because I was in so much fear, I was living in toxic relationships. I was lying on the hospital bed, and I was about to go under anesthesia. And I said to the anesthesiologist, I said, look, please to take care of me. I am a mother and I want to stick around for my kids. And I was crying really, really intensely. And the doctor, the anesthesiologist, made an executive decision without telling me to increase the dose of my anesthesia. And this decision almost took my life. It took a long time to wake me back up. And I remember the experience of trying to wake up. And long story short, I came back. And I thought to myself, what if I didn't wake up? What if I left the world, and I left the world that in the way that I did, and that really, like, oh my God, it really awakened me. And so that experience led me to ask the right questions, of existential questions, like, why am I here? What do I really want? Who am I really? Does this even matter? And what is the weakest link? This is the first thing that I did. What is the weakest link that needs to go away and be released so I can step into, no matter how slowly, but at least step into the journey of healing? And which I did that. I asked the question, I identified the weakest link, I released it with love and a lot of courage and a lot of self-talk that you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. It took a long time, but it was very slow. But it was that decision of, I do not want to just wake up like this and keep going back to being asleep. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I was blessed that way. And now my mission is to bless people with the self awareness and the self love that we all have anyway, deep inside of us, to rekindle that and to reconnect with that so that we don't have to come across extreme experiences.
Lovely, lovely, Grace. I mean, I would really want to call you the divine child of the universe after listening to this story, because it is like the universe gave you a second chance because you were meant to do something in life. You were meant to become the catalyst for many other women and many others, an inspiration to be able to change their life, transform their lives. Lovely, Grace. I mean, that is what happens, it's not easy to find those answers and ask those right questions, right? It's not easy at all. I can just feel it, that how it must have been for you, where you felt all those things and you really asked yourself, pepped yourself up by asking the right questions, telling yourself that it will pass. And that's what life is all about, right? It just passes. You just have to wait, hold on to it, right? And many of us just break down in these challenges, in these moments, and we just don't know where to find that strength. But I guess the strength is within. Like in your story, it comes out so vividly that the strength is within, and we need to just identify that and nurture that strength, right? In those discerning moments. Lovely, lovely, Grace, right? So, Grace, we all go through these kind of phases where we find that, it's very difficult for us and don't know what to do about it. But what is the best way to deal with it?
That's an amazing question. The best way to deal with it is there is no hard and fast rule on how we can connect with our inner power, with our inner light, whatever you call it. There is no one size fits all. Like you said, you can see the divine child of the universe in me, and the truth is, you are what you see. You are what you say. So the clue here that I'm saying, especially to those who are watching right now, Dr. Wishma, is that when what you can see in others and in the world is darkness and despair, see that that is inside of you. And so when you start to see beauty and love in others and in everything that you see, know that that is coming from within you. So work with what you have. So I worked with what I have, and when I awakened, all I can see was toxic relationship around me. All I can see was health deteriorating. All I can see was gray clouds. And so again, I asked the questions, what is the weakest link? I'll tell you a quick story. At the time, this was in February 2013, this happened, this near death experience. And when I awakened, I could see I had a toxic relationship with a man. So that was one. And the other thing is that my belief systems, I was working at the time. I was in the finance industry for a long time, and it was a very successful career. But I awakened to the belief system that being in finance, very conservative with money and everything, is that you have to pay your mortgage first, pay off all your debt with your house and everything before you live your life and travel. You've got to be always scrimping money and pay the house. That was the belief system. And I realized if I paid off my mortgage today and then I died today and I haven't taken my kids to experiences that we're going to enjoy, what does that even mean? So that was, so I just asked the right questions in order to unpack the light. Like, where is grace? What the hell is going on? And when I started to ask the right questions, it was quite dramatic because I had an experience that to this day, it's so vivid. I had an experience where I actually, um, because I was asking the right questions, I was spending time in stillness by myself. I was praying to the God that I've forgotten to pray to for a long time. And I was just surrendering, like, I don't know what to do, but please help me. I had an experience where my inner child came to me. The actual wounded child came to me, and she came really quite wounded and frail and fragile, and she was weak. And it took me a while to recognize what is that and who is that. And when I recognized the essence and the imagery of what I was looking at, I went around. It was in my bedroom and it was in the corner there. I went around to hug her and embrace her and start to integrate.
Beautiful.
And so I guess the best way is to work with what you have, ask the right questions. And you can never ask the right questions if your mind is so cluttered with belief systems that are surrounding you. So find a still place. If that is in your bedroom, if that is out in nature, if that is in the toilet, Find it for
Right.
5 to 10 minutes a day, whatever works for you, and connect with who is within. Because who is within, if you connect enough and spend enough time, you will find that the light is there. The hope. I'm Yeah, so I teach a program called the Atomic Self-Love Project. And what we do here is we really connect into your inner superpower, which you've had since you were little, but you've forgotten about it. And so that is really the fun part, is connecting with that light that is divinely yours and you were born with it.
Right. Lovely, lovely. Whenever you talk about grace, self love, and I think that is what I feel. Many clients come to me and I coach them, and that I think is something we ignore, right? Self love, loving ourselves. And we're always judging. I mean, we don't need anybody else to judge. We're judging ourselves so much. Like you said, self sabotage. I mean, we're already doing that for ourselves, right? And we don't even realize that we need to really heal that inner child, that inner self, right? And show some compassion, love to that child, to that person you are within, right? We try to find love everywhere, around, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in people, whether it's in your children, partner. But what about that relationship you want to have with yourself? And I guess that's what really I mean, makes that, ignites that whole feeling of loving yourself, being one with yourself, right? Whatever you see, whatever you read, it's all about being one with yourself. It's so important, right? And we forget to do that. And I'm so glad that you're talking about that project that you have, that program that you take on self love, because I guess that is something we all need to go through to be able to be happy, find happiness in whatever it is, and grow. And Grace, you also brought out a very interesting point, is that inner child, you know it's wounded. And many of us, like when we were born, we had all the energy, we were really happy, we never knew whether we were dark, we were thin, we were fat, but people labeled us, right?
Mm.
And those labels wounded us. And those situations, those moments, whether it was I mean, being deprived of love, or being abandoned, or being abused. I mean, I have been in that position, right, where I felt that insecurities, that abandonment. And I guess it's all about how you're able to deal with that inner child, those inner wounds. Because whatever you say, you very rightly said that you can be, you can do very good in your career, you can do very good in getting a good bank balance, but it's all about healing. And healing comes with self love. Am I right, Grace?
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, so when it comes to the wounded inner child, like you said, we are pure, we are born pure, we are born light, and then the culture, the civilization, the whole entire humanity starts to feed us these belief systems where, we get divided. So they are white, you are brown, they are black, and etc., etc. And then we feel that we are not good enough when we are subjected to experiences of abuse, neglect, all of these things. So we become wounded, and the child stays wounded, and the child stays a child, and a part of us grows up, but there's that unaddressed, wounded part of us. Now, in the program, the Atomic Self Love Project, where I take women into a journey. Part of that program is what we call paradigms of self-love, and I want to talk just a little bit about this because truly, the essence of the paradigms of self-love is that what I've found, and this is what I truly believe in, is that, Dr. Reshma, like for all of you who are listening right now, I don't care who you are, and I don't care what you do, and I don't care what happened to you. I'm here to say to you that you have love for yourself. That we all have self love. Like you could say, I am in jail because I did this. I hate myself. I'm disgusting. Or, I'm so ashamed of myself. I'm in fear. I'm guilty. I don't care what you say, what you've done. I know that you have love for yourself. However, here's the thing, is that there are two paradigms of self love. There is the fear based and the fearless. I'll give you a solid example. My mother, when she made the decision to leave me behind in the household where she didn't leave me there thinking, I'm going to leave this child here because I want her to be abused. I want her to suffer. I want her to become wounded. I want her to feel bad about herself. No, she did that because at the time she didn't believe in herself that she can take care of a child like me. It was a self-love decision coming from fear. She was trying to protect herself. It was the best that she can do. Now, the thing that we need to ask ourselves is, the decisions that you make, are they coming from a fear based kind of self love? Are you marrying this guy because you love him, or are you marrying him because he serves a different purpose? It might be that your family says so, or he is financially the best one for you. Are you taking on this job because you love this job, fearless paradigm, or is it because it's the only job that's really going to make you pay off your debts, or this or that, whatever it is? So every fear-based decision that you're going to make a little bit of success, but eventually it's going to spiral back down and fire back on you and self-sabotage you. It happened to me so many times in my relationships, in my career decisions. I've seen it in so many times in classic example, what my mother did, in that fear based self love decision she's made. She's eventually had me as a successful daughter who she didn't have a relationship with for a long time. We now have a beautiful friendship after so many years of working on it, but she suffered from isolation from me. I didn't want to know about her because I was so hurt. I had to work on my own paradigms. Even my paradigms in my 20s and 30s were very, very fear based. I married a guy because this, because that. But after my near death experience, I had to learn to, I don't care what's going to happen. This feels good to me. My heart is screaming for this. I'm going to do it anyway. And when I started to recognize how liberating fearless paradigms of self love are, for example, breaking up with a toxic boyfriend, I lost so many friends. They turned their back on me because they believed his stories. That hurt so much. It hurt even more than the near death experience, I believe, because I just didn't expect it. It hurt, man. It hurt. But I kept going. I stuck to my decision because I knew it was it was going to be best for my children. It was going to be best for my health. I had enough of fear. Like every decision I've made before put me in trouble. So how about I now make completely different decisions, bold ones that actually make me, crumble a little bit, but in my heart I feel that it's going to serve the purpose of the future of my children, my future health, and enjoyment and deep joy. And so when it comes to self-love, just really think about, how have I made my decisions so far? Did I make them out of fear? Did I make them out of worrying I'll be judged? Did I make them out of worrying I'll be rejected? Or did I make them unapologetically? Just examine that. And please don't be hard on yourself. Like, if you've made fear-based decision, haven't we all? Right? It's important that you're asking the question and you're getting clear on it, and you're easing into the fearless decisions, slowly. That's all that matters.
Lovely, lovely, Grace. I think this is something, it's a great takeaway that how we make these decisions based on fear. And we never realize it then. But later, the repercussions that we face, and we don't know. And then we keep on saying, why is it happening? It's become a pattern that I'm inviting toxic relations in my life, right? And because it is based on fear. So, viewers, please go there, write down what decisions you've made based on fear. Try to identify that, because that is going to be the first step you will take towards self love. So please go out there, write it in the chat box. Please comment. Okay, so Grace, I mean, you've really beautifully spoken about this different paradigms of love and how it comes out of. And yeah, I mean, now you're enjoying a great relationship, but there are some people who find it very difficult to let go, right? Because these wounds have really impacted them so much, they're so deep within that it is very difficult. I mean, they're carrying that burden without even realizing it's harming them, not the other person. What can be
Yeah,
done to just, something that can help people let go those burdens?
yeah, letting go. Ooh. um, See, letting go is again on its own such a misunderstood paradigm. Forgiveness is such a misunderstood concept. Often we feel that forgiveness is making someone right, not wrong. Forgiveness is declaring that someone is clean or unclean. Forgiveness is about someone else. Forgiveness is condoning someone's actions. So we think forgiveness is about someone or something. Forgiveness, the most favorite saying that I know of forgiveness is the one from Mark Twain when he said that forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds to the heel that crushed it. So imagine you're a human being walking on a mountaintop and you walked on a violet, which is a beautiful flower. And the violet, instead of saying, why are you doing this to me? The violet just sheds a fragrance on your heel.
Right.
Forgive what
Lovely.
you've done, because the violet is not really concerned about you. The violet just wants to remain beautiful, to remain fragrant, to remain pure. It is in touch with its divinity. It's in touch with its connection to God. So the question becomes, when you feel like you need to let go something, when you feel like you need to forgive someone and be liberated of anger, of resentment, of depression, the question really is, how do I connect with God? How do I connect with the universe, whoever it is that you call your higher source? How do I connect with my inner light, if that makes it easier for you? And how do you do that? There are some really, really basic things that you can do. The key here is to be patient with yourself. Okay, so I'm just gonna give you a caveat first of all before I tell you the viewers on how to do this. The caveat is that we as human beings, we think about time. So time, January 1, February 1, March 1, April 1, December 31. We think of time. And so we give ourselves time and deadlines to change and let go. And we get frustrated when it doesn't happen when we want it to happen. I want you to just forget about time. Time is a human made illusion. Okay. So it's about that. It's about the flow. Okay, it could take you 1 minute, it could take you a lifetime. It depends on how committed you are to just go deep, right? So all you've got to do, and this is really what I've done. I'm not going to teach you anything that I've not done myself, is to sink into the feeling of having received everything. Sink into the feeling of worthiness. Sink into the feeling of, I am so worthy. And really, that is the gratitude, the exercise of gratitude. And this is what I've done, is that I just I got back into the habit. I forced myself to create a habit of being grateful, because I know that I have not been practicing gratitude at all. And so it was hard for me, Dr. Rishma, just to be honest here with you. And so I
Right.
knew, because I am a left and a right brain person. So there's a balance there for me. But I was like a process oriented woman. So I picked up a journal and just started. And I started with the most basic things I can be grateful for.
Right.
And so basic things like the sunshine, the pink pen, because I love pink, the kiss from my son. I started to create that habit of being grateful for three things every day. And when I got deep enough, this probably took me about 6 months. I then became really, really bold and courageous to try and be grateful for the bad experiences and the bad people that happened to me. Now, this is a real commitment to self love because I wanted
Lovely.
to see, okay, how can I be grateful of someone who talked badly about me behind my back? How can I be grateful for that? What is the light that I can see in that? And it's not easy. At first try, I didn't find it. I was like, whoa, this is freaking hard. But with the commitment, with the habit of seeing the, sinking into that I have received worthiness, I am healed, I am worthy, I am loved, I am grateful for. It's like a muscle. You go to the gym every day, you develop a muscle. It's the same. Gratitude is an experience that you create for yourself. Once you've embedded that experience, that DNA of being grateful, being worthy, that's all you ever see is that, like right now, for example, as an example, when my 17-year-old teenager is being rude to me, I would be like, oh, what can I be grateful for in this moment? It's because this is my it's become my nature.
Part. It's become a part of your DNA now. Now it's
Yeah.
that's what you are. Lovely, lovely. Yes, gratitude is very important. So, viewers out there, please do write what are the gratitude rituals you follow in your life, and please share it with us. It would be great. And if you've still not started, start maintaining a journal. Like Grace said, it really is going to become a part of you, help you let go, help you love yourself truly. So it was really wonderful, Grace. It was great talking to you. So, inner power is all about that state of mind, that guiding force that helps you live a healthier and a happier life, making you more successful, more aligned with yourself, loving yourself, and being grateful for all the things around. That's what that inner hidden power is all about, which needs to be unleashed. Thank you so much, Grace. It was wonderful having you on the show. Thank you, really, I mean, from the bottom of my heart. And it was your phenomenal journey has going to inspire me and the viewers out there. And it was lovely having you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Yes, and all the beautiful souls out there, enlightened souls, I hope you've had a great, great learning today with Grace here. And please write your key takeaways. It would be lovely to listen to all those key takeaways that you have. Please do write that and unleash your power that's hidden within, okay? And get the strength to deal with anything that comes in your life. Thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe to the channel if you've not. And if you've done, please like, share, comment on this episode today. It will be great to have your comments there. And as usual, we always keep it real. So bye for now. Take care. Love and light to everybody.
Bye.
Bye.